Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Well, it turns out that almost everything that the American public was told about the raid that killed Osama bin Laden was one big fat lie. And of course, this is something that we here at Infowars have been saying from the very beginning, and that is the fact that the bin Laden raid was nothing more than political theater. It was designed to boost President Barack Hussein Obama's military credentials and keep those American flags waving in support of the war on terror, the never-ending war, sponsored by the military-industrial complex. Up until now, most people who watch a lot of TV anyway, well, they bought the official version of the story hook, line, and sinker. They believe that the Navy SEALs went into Pakistan, they raided the bin Laden compound, got in a huge firefight, and killed the world's most dangerous terrorist in a fierce battle. All of this, of course, under the watchful eye of the Obama administration, who watched the drama unfold live in real time from the Situation Room in the White House. We were then told by the Obama administration that bin Laden had been positively identified through a DNA test. I guess they had a DNA lab test kit out there in the field. And then, in accordance with Islamic burial rituals, he was buried at sea. And if you believe that, I think you're spending way too much time in the Matrix, because this entire story is a bunch of BS. And I think the red flag for most of us critical thinkers, most of us conspiracy theorists, and that was when the administration was claiming that they buried Osama bin Laden's body at sea. I mean, that is ridiculous. To me, it sounds like something that maybe George Bush's handlers would have thought up, but not Barack Obama. He's usually a little more slick than that. And I can't help but thinking about, I don't know if you ever saw comedian Doug Stanhope. He's the one who said, "We finally caught the Bigfoot of terrorists, yet nobody bothered to take a picture of him, and they dumped his body into the ocean." I mean, think about it. It really doesn't make any sense. But this is what you're expected to believe, and unfortunately, much of the American public still buys what is being spoon-fed to them by their television sets. But slowly but surely, the truth is finally starting to come out. And now we've got Pulitzer Prize winning investigative journalist Seymour Hersh, who is very well known and respected among mainline journalists anyway. Well, he says that he has uncovered one of the biggest lies in modern American history, and that the bin Laden raid was a work of fiction, and that the Obama administration fabricated the story. I'm glad you finally caught up to us, Seymour. What took you so long? And as expected, you know, it didn't take very long for the mainstream media to send out their attack dogs against Seymour Hersh. I mean, he's been viciously attacked, and there's a huge backlash on against him for reporting on all this. But, you know, I got to hand it to the guy. He's really sticking to his guns. And his investigation has uncovered some very interesting facts about the bin Laden raid.
I mean, why would there be this? What you're alleging is a massive conspiracy involving what would have to be dozens of people in 3 different countries that has sustained itself until now. What would be the motive for setting up this elaborate hoax?
And, you know, watching Anderson Cooper right there, you know, these mainstream guys are so predictable. They always ask the same questions. How could that many people have kept a secret? You know, somebody would have talked, that sort of thing. And then he follows it up with basically a direct punch to the face, because he's insinuating next that by not believing the official narrative, that somehow disrespects the troops.
I mean, there are actual members of SEAL Team 6, Matt Bissonnette, Robert Neal, who've gone public, have said that the raid did in fact happen basically as the government said. Their comrades put their lives at risk, were shot at in the compound. Right. There were bullet holes all over the place. Are you saying they're lying?
I'm saying, I can tell you one thing, I don't know about O'Neill. And Neil said we went in thinking we were going to die, which I think is a great exaggeration. And Bissonnette, who also wrote the book, I think No Easy Day or something like that, certainly was not telling the truth about that.
So there you go. Anderson Cooper asking all the same questions we've learned to expect from the mainstream media, especially from embedded CIA reporters. I mean, I tell you what, Operation Mockingbird was a success because the intelligence community is alive and well and embedded all up in the mainstream media. And if you look at the headlines across the country right now regarding Seymour Hersh, you'll notice that they are using the C word again. Seymour Hersh is now a conspiracy theorist. Of course he is. Now, I want to break down some of the bullet points of the Seymour Hersh investigation. This from the Business Insider. And Hersh says that the most blatant lie was that Pakistan's senior military officials, that they were never informed of the mission, when in fact they were part of it. He also says that the Obama administration claimed that bin Laden was hiding out in the compound, but Hersh says that Pakistani intelligence agency had captured bin Laden way back in 2006, and they held him prisoner all of that time. I don't personally believe that. I think bin Laden had already been dead for some time. I mean, we have credible sources like veteran CIA officer Robert Baer and Dr. Steve Pachinik, among others, who we all believe that bin Laden died as early as 2001 or maybe 2002. But anyway, this is what they told Seymour Hersh, and he's got a lot of courage, in my opinion, reporting on this. And I tell you what, the Obama administration is not very happy about this report, and once you know it, they are denying absolutely everything. Let's move on. The White House's claim that bin Laden was buried at sea is also a lie, according to Hersh. He says that they shot him unarmed by himself, execution style, and then they dumped his body out of a helicopter into the mountains of Afghanistan. So there's a lot of different stories out there that don't add up, and I think it's safe to say that the Obama administration is lying about the entire event. I mean, this was political theater. It was an American propaganda campaign to get us all to support the war on terror, much like George W. Bush did in saving Private Jessica Lynch or the tragic death of Pat Tillman. I think that they sandbagged the death of bin Laden just for Obama. And now America has a new boogeyman, ISIS. Yet another Frankenstein created, funded, and supported by the CIA. Of course, we've reported on the number of accidental weapons drops to ISIS. And now we know that something like 75% of all the weapons obtained by ISIS actually comes directly from the United States. If you think about it, we could actually defeat ISIS with a weapons embargo. But then again, you can't make any money on an embargo, now can you?
My name is Alex Jones. Most of you know me from my syndicated radio program and my documentary films, as well as Infowars Nightly News. When I got on air 20 years ago, I had discovered the globalist program, their plan to take over the world, and my focus went from running 6 miles every other day, swimming 2-3 miles a couple times a week, and lifting weights, to focusing on fighting the globalist. I've gone from 279 pounds all the way down to 235 pounds, and the weight's going off even faster. Super Male Vitality, Survival Shield X2 Nascent Iodine, and Oxy Powder. Those 3 products of the entire family of InfoWarsLife.com products are the most important from my own personal experience. And it wasn't just that my weight loss accelerated. My muscle mass increased. My stamina, my energy levels exploded. Now is the time to take action. Start your journey today with the Alex Challenge Pack. It's the trifecta of change. Secure yours today and get free shipping for a limited time at InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139.